What's up everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Javi, and now the first quarter of 2021 has come to an end. I wanted to take some time to recap this last quarter and talk to you guys about how I've been doing so far with my financial plan. If you guys haven't seen my first video, please make sure to watch that one. In that video, I go in depth about what my financial goals are for this year and how I plan to achieve it. If you guys find this video helpful or motivating in any shape or form, please make sure to like that button and subscribe. Alright, let's jump into it. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is my monthly budget. So for this year, I set myself a monthly budget of $960. So the way that I've been tracking my monthly spending is I take a sum of my 3 credit cards at the end of each month, and that's how much money I spent for the month. So I pay everything on my credit card, and I've been keeping track of it. So on average, in the last 3 months, I have been spending $970 compared to $960 that I set myself up to spend each month. Now, this is pretty good in my opinion because this is my first time that I have been keeping track of how much money I spend. So to only be $10 on average more, then that means that I'm actually doing pretty good. Okay, so the second thing that I want to talk about is my monthly income. So at the beginning of the year, I estimated that my take-home pay each month would be somewhere around $4,100. Now, this is assuming that for my full-time job, I have no salary increase as well as no bonuses. As well as for my part-time job, I am taking home $7,200 for the year. So in the last 3 months, I have not seen a salary increase or a bonus. However, I have been seeing that my part-time job has been generating more money than I had estimated for. So in the last 3 months, I have actually been on average taking home $4,200 compared to what I estimated at $4,100, and that is all due to my part-time job. I've been working more hours as well as I've been getting paid more than I had estimated for. So that's actually really cool because since my budget is actually right around where I estimated and my monthly income is a little bit more, then that means I'm actually doing a lot better than I had thought I would be doing. Alright, so now the third thing that I want to talk about is how much money I have been investing on a monthly basis. So at the beginning of the year, I estimated that I would be investing $2,700 each month. Now after doing the last 3 months, I have seen that I've been investing more like $2,694 each month. Now, how much money that I have been investing is a little bit different every single month. So for the first 2 months, I noticed that I've been investing most of my money into stocks, particularly my standard brokerage account. With the stock market going down in the last few months, I saw that as a big opportunity for me to continue investing into growth stocks. So I've been putting most of my money into that for the first 2 months of the year. Now, in the last month, I haven't been putting much money into that. Instead, what I have been doing is saving all of that money and saving that into my real estate saving files, just so that I can potentially buy a home in the near future. So one thing that I want to start prioritizing this next quarter that's coming up is investing in my Roth IRA. So far this year, I've invested $0 into my Roth IRA as well as $0 into my student loans. Now, right now with student loans being deferred and there being no interest on student loans, there is no incentive to start paying down these student loans. So what I'm doing instead is I'm putting some money aside so that if nothing changes, then I can go ahead and put a big down payment on my student loans. Now for my Roth IRA, I do plan on starting that as soon as possible because I do want to invest some money into that. Specifically, I want to invest $4,000 into my Roth IRA. So I need to start putting some money into that. Alright, and now the last thing is how much money I have left over at the end of each month. So at the beginning of the year, I estimated that I have about $477 at the end of each month, but now I'm seeing that at the end of each month, I'm having more like $520. Now this leftover money, I actually haven't been doing anything with. Instead, I've just been keeping it in my savings account or my checkings account and just pretending like I don't have that money. So really, my saving account for my retirement is actually going up higher than what I'm estimating based on these numbers on my Excel sheet. Okay, so what are some things that I want to change coming up this next quarter? The first thing is going to be having a savings account that is for my real estate investing. So right now I just have one account, and that is where all my money comes in, and at the end of each month when I'm paying off my credit cards, I have that same account. So it's just money that I just keep in one place. However, it's really hard to see my real estate investing savings going up because I do not have a set savings for that. So that is the first thing I want to do. The second thing I want to do, okay, so the second thing that I want to work on is diversifying my savings and investing. So like I said, in the first 2 months of the year, I put all of my money into stocks for my in my standard brokerage account. However, I think it would have been a little bit smarter to put some of that money into my standard brokerage account, some in my Roth IRA, some into student loans, as well as some in my Roth IRA or in real estate investment. So that is something that I want to work on, because I do think that if I just prioritize one thing all the time, then I'm going to get used to just prioritizing that thing, and I'm going to leave the other things behind, and then I'm going to have to play catch up over and over again. So instead, I should stick with my initial goal of putting a certain amount each month into each particular category. All right, and now the last thing, this is not money related, but this is something that I talked about in my first video, and that is my side hustle. So in the first quarter, I actually haven't been doing the greatest job of continuing my side hustle, and that for me right now is YouTube. So this coming up quarter, I do want to put more emphasis on my YouTube account and start treating this more like a business, and because I do think that this is something that could be really beneficial for me outside of just the potential upside of money, but as a way for me to vlog my progress so that I can potentially see all the progression that I have done in the future, as well as it can be a helpful video for you guys to see, so that you guys can see what worked and didn't work, and potentially just avoid all the hiccups and just do all the right stuff. So that is something that I do also want to work on. Alright, with that said, I hope you guys liked this video, and if you guys found this video interesting and liked it, please make sure to leave that in the comments. I do think that this is something that I will probably do at the end of each quarter, and if that's too often, then maybe at the end of the mid-year point and at the beginning of the year. But I do think that, like I said, that these videos are going to be pretty cool, and I don't see them that often, a lot of YouTubers making them, but it'll be a cool way for me and other people to see the progression of my financial journey and talk about all the things that I'm doing right, as well as things that I think that I need to improve on. Now, I also think that maybe this can be taken a step further, and I can potentially talk about habits that I can start doing, or habits that I should stop doing, that can potentially help my financial plan as well. Because some of the things that I do and everyone does on a day-to-day basis may not be so money related, but in one way or another does help or hinder your financial plan. So that is something that I think could be a cool way to a cool thing that I can incorporate into the videos. But with that said, I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, please make sure to like that button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.